we'll proceed to public comment. And Timothy Bigelow, come on up first. And you're here on a special occasion.
I am.
Tell us about it.
Thank you for having us. My name is Tim Bigelow, and I'm the Development Director at CASA of Santa Barbara County. We work with the foster care kids. We place a volunteer with every one of the foster care kids here in our county. And this is our annual Ukrainian delegation that came to visit Santa Barbara for 1 week. Each of them comes from foster care, child welfare, or adoption in Ukraine, and they came to learn best practice from here in Santa Barbara. So I'm very happy to introduce Oksana, who is the facilitator that will introduce each one of the Ukrainians.
Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon. My name is Oksana Semenishin, and I represent Open World Program, which is an exchange program funded by the U.S. Congress and administered by Open World Leadership Center and American Councils for International Education. So this program allows young Ukrainian professionals to come to the United States on different topics and to learn about best practices and communicate with their American counterparts. So this delegation has come on the topic child welfare, and they are all young leaders that have or work for NGOs that help foster care kids, orphaned kids, families who would like to adopt, or foster care families. And they represent different parts of Ukraine. So I will briefly introduce each of them. So Marta is from the Western Ukraine, and she has a organization that helps children who live in poor families and orphan children, and she also organizes a shelter for single mothers who are homeless at the moment, and she helps them to find places to live, jobs, and to be able to keep her kids. This is Oksana. She works for an all-Ukrainian organization called Alliance Ukraine Without Orphans. So she helps to reform the system in Ukraine so that we don't have institutions like orphanages, but find foster care families or adopting parents for each child. This is Natalia. She's from South Ukraine, and she also works for an organization called My Home, which helps foster care families and adopting parents, and also helps children to find families, children who are without parents or orphan children. This is Vika. She's from Central Ukraine, and she works with boys who also don't have families and have disabilities, and she's also a foster care family for a young boy aged 7 years with disability. She and her mom takes care of him. And this is Maxim. He's from the eastern part of Ukraine. He works for an organization called Children's Village, and they are working on preventing families from losing their children if they are in difficult situations, if they have no money to provide for them. So they help the families so that they can keep their children and the children don't go to institutions. Thank you very much for Santa Barbara City Council for hosting us, and we would like to thank most of all to Gil Garcia and Timothy Bigelow for organizing a great program for us, and for all the host families that agreed to host us and have been very hospitable. Thank you.
Thank you. We're grateful for your visit and for the work you do for the children in the Ukraine. Mr. Garcia, thank you. Mr. Bigelow, thank you. And you can stay for the meeting if you like, or I know you have a tight schedule, so. Okay. Wayne Scholes, you're next.